Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to the Ohio Patriot Education Network channel here on YouTube. I am, as always, your host, AR, the Ohio Patriot. For today's episode, we're going to talk about Democrats refusing to debate in any any race for statewide office. Is this really a shocker to anyone? No, not really. Gavin Newsom and all the rest of these people are scumbag pieces of shit, dude. They know for a fact if they actually did debate people, they would lose immediately, is what it is, dude. They would be trounced, they would be exposed as the scumbag fucking frauds that they really are, is what it is, dude. But anyway, going on to read this, though. Get a picture of dipshit Newsom there. Yeah, so Democrats won't debate in any race for statewide office. Said they claim to be, quote, defending democracy, but not one of the Democrat Party candidates for statewide office in California has agreed to debate his or her opponent, rejecting what many voters see as a key part of the democratic process. And that's a big thing, too, by the way. I mentioned that before when it comes to constitutional republic and stuff like that. America is a constitutional republic. However, we do have a Democrat voting process in it, is what it is, dude. And the big thing there is when you're not going to do that, all you're really what you're showing is number one, you're a fucking coward piece of shit. Number two, that you're a fucking coward piece of shit. Is that it is. And again, number three, that you know that you're gonna lose. You know that you have no fucking leg to stand on, is what it is. And when people finally wake up and realize that the Democrat Party of California is nothing but a bunch of shitholer motherfuckers, is what it is, dude. They're gonna start voting in other directions, is what it'll be, man. And I think that's exactly what Newsom and company are scared of right now. Is they know that they have this very, very thin veiled majority there, is what it is, dude. And when people finally wake up and they're like, no, y'all are bullshit, like fuck all y'all, and they start voting a different way, that they're gonna be like, oh fuck, and that state's gonna swing. Because I've actually talked to people about that before, actually, here in the last week or so. There's a couple guys that are pro gun people in California that have been on some panels that I've been part of and stuff like that. We discuss things in back chats, and they were saying specifically, if you took out places like Pelosi's San Francisco area, and I think there was like one other spot like LA or something like that, like pretty much the rest of the state, like San Bernardino and all the farming areas and stuff like that, there are 100% red. And that's the thing, dude. When you realize that and you wake up to that shit, and people were like, whoa. And then, when they finally, are like, oh shit, man, like that is true or whatever. And what you end up having then is you have people who will end up, you know, being able to do something or whatever and sort of change history, if you will. And when you can have that change of history, when you can have that change of, policies and stuff like that, then you realize that people do have the power and stuff like that, is what it is, dude. And I think, unfortunately, right now, with the way our society is, you have so many people that don't want to look at themselves that way. And they want to sit there and be like, oh, no, but I don't hold the power to do anything at all. It's just, whatever there. In reality, people hold more power than they realize, dude. And I think the problem is right now, because they don't want to actually, you know, realize that or, go down that road and stuff like that. That's why you basically have these people maintaining power in these states and these countries all the time, dude, is because of the fact you have people that are just like, no, bro, like, what can I do? I'm just one man kind of thing, or whatever the case be. And it's like, you can do a lot, man. You can do a lot. You can cast your ballot for the candidate that you want. You can do all kinds of stuff, man. And the thing is, it takes we the people to get it done, man. That's what it is, honestly. And I think, unfortunately, you have far too many people that don't want to actually, use their power to vote and would rather just sit there and bitch and moan and be like, well, I didn't vote for that guy and I don't know why I should be able to, like, it's basically like, I should be able to complain even though I had no fucking, voting for this person or didn't vote for the other guy either, whatever the case be. And it's like, well, if you didn't vote, then you really have no, say in the process then, dude, because again, like, you chose to basically remove yourself from the actual ability to call these scumbags out, is what it is, dude. And I think that's the unfortunate situation in our country right now, is you have far too many people that want to go down that route and that rabbit hole and stuff. And because they want to do that kind of shit and they don't want to actually, have an issue where they can, call these people out or whatever it is, dude, then they just want to sit there and sort of fuck off is what it is. And then they want to basically have a say and be like, oh, but this is not my thing, or this is not that thing, or whatever the fuck it is. It doesn't really matter, honestly. It's a whole situation where they want to just sit there and bitch and moan and babble on some more or whatever. Where in reality, it's because of the fact they didn't do anything that we're now seeing the crazy shit that's happening in this country. And unfortunately, the more and more that this shit happens, the more that you're going to continue to see just the insanity ramping up in this country, and the more that we're going to start seeing people, bad things coming to fruition that didn't need to be. And it's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate that you have people that don't want to actually see what's right in front of their own faces in a lot of the cases, man. And I believe truthfully what we have seen lately is just the beginning of this shit, dude. Like like I've said before, when you're seeing people like, Tim Ryan calling for political violence against their right and stuff like that, and then sitting there trying to fuck off and be like, oh, but I didn't actually mean that this people, I meant these people, kind of thing. And it's like, no, dude, we all fucking knew what you meant, you son of a bitch. You're a lying piece of shit, Tim Ryan. You're a scumbag fucking criminal who has done all kinds of shady fucking shit in the past 20 plus years of your fucking shitty ass political career, dude. Like, go fuck yourself, buddy. Seriously. And it's the same thing with Gavin Newsom and company, dude. When you have these people doing whatever it takes to maintain power in these states and stuff like that, dude, and then they're not, being called out for their bullshit is what it is. It's fucked up, man. It ain't right. It just really bothers me in general, dude. It really does. And the worst part of it is, looking back into history and stuff like that, what you end up having is a situation where 99% of the time, all this shit does is, again, lead to pendulum swings, and sometimes it leads to pendulum snapping, dude. And when you have the pendulum snap, that's not a good day, man. That is not a good day for anybody. Because it means that what you're going to end up having is a situation of people finally just having enough. And, when people finally have enough of just the pandering, of the just absolute bullshit is what it is, they're finally just going to snap, And I think, unfortunately, that's where we're heading right now. We're heading for that weird fracturing snap right now of, balkanization or something else for that matter. And when that happens, like, people are going to be in for a very, very rude awakening that day, man. And a lot of them aren't going to be ready for it. They're going to be like, what just happened? And they're having people trying to explain it to them, and they're just like, oh, yeah, I don't like this. And a lot of them aren't going to like it, dude, because, again, they're going to be in for that, crazy, crazy shit happening to them, if that be the case, dude. And the worst part of it is that it could have all been prevented right now. It could have all been prevented right now with people actually having the balls to debate and stuff like that, dude. But yeah, as I said here, it said, as Cal Matters notes, as election day approaches, you're likely to spot Gavin Newsom signs popping up in plenty of television ads. You'll see state controller candidate Malia Cohan on her various social media feeds. Attorney General Rob Bonta will be busy attending plenty of press conferences, but what are the odds that voters will catch any of these Democrats at a televised political debate? Don't bet on it. That's over the strenuous objections of their 3 Republican opponents and the state GOP. For weeks, controller candidate Leehan Chin has been calling on Cohan, sometimes accompanied by a dancing chicken, to meet him on the debate stage. On Tuesday, 2 other GOP candidates for statewide office joined the call. State Senator Brian Dooley, who is running a long shot campaign to unseat Gavin Newsom, cheered on Fox 11 anchor Elix Michelson after the reporter offered to moderate a gubernatorial debate. 2 hours later, Attorney General candidate Nathan Hochman challenged Rob Bonta to not 1 but 3 debates at minimum. And that's the thing, dude. And this is exactly what I'm talking about, dude. These people are fucking cowards. Bonta, Newsom, that fucking controller woman, Malia, Cohan. Yeah, they're all fucking cowards, dude. They're all fucking coward ass pieces of shit because they know if they had a real debate with these people, they would get fucking trounced. And that's the one thing that does bother me too, by the way, is this is something I've always seen happening in states in this country and stuff like that. And it's something I've never really seen in many things in this right now, dude. I would love right now in the next 20 something days, Mike DeWine, Nan Whaley, and Neil Peterson all get on the debate stage together, and the 3 of them have an actual debate for the governorship, and you will see the voters that would be like, holy shit, who's this Peterson guy? Because that dude would trounce the fuck out of both DeWine and Whaley, dude. And that's the problem, though, is that nobody wants to debate stuff. They rather sit there and do dumbass attack ads all the time. And the worst part of it is their dumbass attack ads are some of the most retarded, nonsensical bullshit I have ever fucking seen in my entire life, dude. Like, they are some dumbass fucking nonsense, dude. It really is. Like, everything I've seen from Nan Whaley in the last couple weeks, dude, with her being all like, her whole thing is, and I don't know how much these people spend on these campaign ads, dude, but it's like, Jesus Christ, dude. I keep seeing the same one with DeWine now, which I think is funny. That's basically about him talking about doing jobs and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, you mean because of the fucking several 100,000 jobs that you got rid of in the last like 2 years, you jackass, by helping businesses close forever, you fucking clown? And that's what I'm saying, dude. Like, I am an equal opportunity offender when it comes to these establishment fuckers, dude. Like, I hate all of them. Honestly, it's not like I'm not pro Nan Whaley, I'm not pro Mike DeWine, dude. I hate them both, honestly. And I think everybody else should too at this point because they're scumbag fucking criminals is what it is, dude. But anyway, yeah, it's a whole thing, man. But yeah, it does not surprise me in the least to read that article about Newsom and company refusing to actually debate and stuff here. So, but yeah, continuing on with a little bit that's left of this, though, it says Democrats have rejected all of these requests for debates in California there through media outlet, or the media outlets have been interested in hosting them. Said Breitbart News has even responded favorably to a general call for Hochman's campaign to media outlets to host debates to no avail. Said the refusal to debate is unprecedented. In 2014, then incumbent Governor Jerry Brown, a Democrat, agreed to debate his opponent, Republican Neil Kashkari. Despite the fact that Brown led widely in the polls, Brown was widely considered to have lost the debate, largely for lack of practice against political opposition in a state where his party dominates and the media largely plays along. He went on to win re-election by a large. Sorry, internet's getting spotty again. Anyway, and that's the whole thing, though, right? Is all it shows when you're not going to debate these people is that you're a fucking coward, that you're fucking doing cowardice shit, dude. Like, my thing is, if I ever run for office, dude, I'll debate anybody about anything any fucking day of the week. And if they're going to try to sit there and attack me for random shit I've said in the past, and that's all they got, bro, like, it's like, really, dude, that's all you got? And I'll be wearing my fucking Ohio hat at the time, too, by the way, dude. So, anyway. The entire point is I'm trying to make though is all you end up with when you're not going to debate people is you're showing people your true weakness, that you're a bitch, you're a fucking coward, etc., a fucking cunt, if you will. And the problem with that is, why am I not surprised that it's going on in California, dude? Why am I not surprised that it's like, the thing is, I think really what it is that Newsom is a scared little bitch. He knows for a fact that if that state senator guy, let me go back and read the article again to see who it actually was there. Let's see. Yeah, Brian Dahle, I think it's how to pronounce his name. It's Dahle. He's a current state senator there. My thing is, I think Newsom knows if he actually were to debate this dude, that dude would fucking trounce him in so many different ways, from the lockdowns of the state in the past couple of years to the political violence that happened throughout the state in the past couple of years against Trump supporters and stuff like that, to, various shutting down of churches and stuff like that and houses of worship and shit and everything in between. And not to mention that, but also Newsom himself then, defying his own mask mandates and being spotted at different places and shit on mask and hanging out with people at parties and stuff while he had lockdowns going on. And it's like, yeah, dude, you're just a hypocrite douchebag is what it is. Like, Newsom really should not be governor of California anymore, dude. He honestly, that recall election, dude, there's a lot that can be talked about that one. Unfortunately, it can't be discussed here on YouTube because the overlords, they don't like you talking about those things, and I don't really want to get a channel strike about it, but let's just say this. Go watch 2,000 Mules, and I'll leave it at that, honestly, and you'll see exactly how Gavin Newsom won re-election in that recall vote, dude. So, anyway. Anyway, but yeah, the whole point I'm trying to make is you have people who don't actually give a shit about their constituency, because if they did, they would be like, okay, cool, I'm going to go ahead and debate this person. And like they even said there, Jerry Brown, he lost that debate against that dude in 2014. He still won re-election and stuff like that, dude. So it's like, you can lose a debate and still win re-election, dude. The thing is, though, I think Newsom knows he's fucking got nothing, dude, is what it is. Like, he would not be able to do anything because he's a scumbag piece of shit is what it is, dude. And he's a fucking coward. He has no actual debating skills at all. And he would just be a little bitch is what it is, dude. He would look as cowardly as we all know he is at this point, honestly, dude. Not to mention everything I mentioned before that about being able to hit him on all that stuff. You could also have that state senator guy hit him on the recent stuff about, like, doing with gas-powered cars or gas-powered fucking leaf blowers and stuff like that by X amount of time. And it's like, are you like I would straight up call him out on that one. I'd be like, are you fucking nuts, bro? Are you literally psychotic, man? Like, what the hell is the matter with you? That's never going to be fucking feasibly possible, you jackass. And if nothing else, like, you can call him out to his fucking face on that shit then in those debates, dude. So, and I totally would, man. Like, I wouldn't even care if because the thing is, like, we all know that that's a long shot for that state senator guy there in California. And my thing is, why not at least do it to be like, no, look at this fucking lunatic over here that's trying to do all this crazy shit to you, Californians. Like, wake the fuck up, people. This guy is a fucking maniac, Seriously. And, do what needs to be done there is what it is. But anyway, I don't know. It really is a bitch move, though, honestly, dude, for people to refuse debates and stuff. Because all it does is, like I said, it show cowardice to the voting base at this point. And the thing is, like, what's sad to me is that so many people that are the voting base of California aren't even going to care. They're not even going to look at that stuff and be like, oh, wait, he refused the debate or whatever. They're just going to be like, oh, it's whatever. I'm still going to vote for Gavin Newsom. And it's like, that's just dumb, dude. And that's really the problem with California right now entirely is, people want to bitch and moan about Ohio being like so gerrymandered or whatever the case be, yet they never fucking talk about California or New York or Delaware or Connecticut or any of these fucking blue states like that, dude, that are all super majorities and stuff like that in them. Or if they're not super majorities, they're like real fucking close is what it is. And you look at like every single blue state across this country, from, like I said, Massachusetts to Connecticut to Delaware, New York, New Jersey, California, Oregon, Washington State, etc., etc. Like all these places are either supermajority Democrats, or they are heavily gerrymandered Democrat, to the point you can never really have Republicans gain pure control of these state houses and stuff like that, dude. And that's why they're all scared. That's why they're actually really scared, and why they're pissed about like people actually being like, no, it's disgusting to sit here and watch you end human life for fucking 5 decades, dude. And then you wonder why we keep importing people from fucking countries that don't actually mesh with our current fucking American values, that refuse to ever melt into the fucking melting pot. It's because of the fact that you have literally executed children in the womb for fucking 50 fucking years, dude. And like I said, going back to what I mentioned in last night's this morning's fucking 4-hour cast, it pisses me off beyond belief that fucking judge was able to come in there and be like, oh no, Ohio's 6-week abortion ban. No, it's still 22 weeks, bro. You can still kill a kid up to 5.5 fucking months. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. The fact that this psychotic fucking lunatic judge is not being arrested today here in 2022 on September 15th and being hauled off to fucking prison for the rest of their damn life, dude, for fucking mass genocide, is everything that's wrong with this state right now. And everything that's wrong with this fucking country right now, dude. Like, that fucking judge should have got a fucking knock on their door this morning, and it should have been an arrest warrant being shoved in their fucking face and being told to turn around because they're under arrest for fucking attempted mass genocide at this point, dude. Because that's what it is. Let's be honest with ourselves, dude. This shit is crimes against humanity at this point, honestly. What these people have done, what people like Gavin Newsom have done to our fucking country, dude, where they're like, abortion on demand up to the moment of birth, and oh no, we're just going to pass laws now in California where you can kill a kid up to fucking 2 years old if you don't want it. That's a fucking piece of legislation that's on there, that's going through their General Assembly right now, dude, is to have people be able to kill a fucking child at the age of 2 and get away with murder. Like, what in the fucking fuck? Seriously, man. I just hope people wake up, man. Like, people need to get out of the slumber and wake the fuck up, and it needs to start by November midterms, them going to the polls, and you just have like the fucking biggest red tsunami ever in this country's history. And independents too, for that matter. And it's either Republican or independent, I don't care which, dude. Just fucking trounce Democrats out of office in every fucking level at this point, dude. And we just start dealing with the shit entirely, dude. And maybe that's the pendulum swing we need right now. That's not going to be a pendulum break. It would just be that specific thing. We get in good people, good constitutionalist candidates again, and be able to do things correctly and get rid of a lot of these fucking rhino sacks of shit, a lot of these fucking piece of shit Democrats, etc., dude. And actually be able to bring sanity back to America again and not be living in a fucking insane world anymore. But I think, unfortunately, it might be past that time already, dude. You know, I've heard a lot of people saying in the past couple of weeks now, like, is it worth it to even vote anymore? And it's like, it really depends on where you live, honestly. Because my thing is, you know, if you're seriously, unless you have a majority of people that would be enough to unseat a blue governor, you'd be better off to move to a red state at this point if you still have the time. Get all your shit changed over and be able to vote in the November elections in a new state then, dude. Because my thing is, if you're living in the Democrat hell pocket of this country, like Colorado kind of place or whatever, dude, that is so, again, gerrymandered Democrat is what it is, dude. Why give them your money anymore? Why give them your fucking dollar bills? Same thing with California, man. If you care about guns, if you care about Constitution at all, why live in these hellholes, dude? I get that, you know, like for some people it's impossible to leave because you're going to school and shit or whatever, but like, again, if you're not in that position, if you can leave, dude, like, flee. Seriously, like, flee that fucking state go to a different state that's going to be more in line with your fucking political values is what it is, dude. That's going to be more in line with your constitutional rights and stuff, and do what needs to be done to actually have this country be better overall. Because that's the thing, man. You know, we need more fighters in these red states that'll actually be here to be with us on the front lines and stuff like that for the culture wars, for, you know, the pushback, for the red pilling, etc. And unfortunately, when you have these people behind enemy lines, it's like, dude, like if something does happen, you know, some actual like real, you know, like bullets start flying fucking conflict kind of thing or something like that, man. It's a situation that needs to be fucking done with, man. You know, seriously. But anyway, I think I'm pretty much done though. I'm going to go back to the other video here. I need to edit some stuff out of it because the way that I mentioned some stuff, I don't really need people taking that the wrong way. But I don't need another Fed knock is what I'm going to say on that one. And I feel like something that was said in it could potentially lead to some jackasses taking things out of context and stuff like that, which was me talking about, you know, Tim Ryan's bitch ass and him calling for violence against people like myself and not realizing that we live in a, you know, constitutional carry state and stuff like that is what it is, dude. But yeah, just to make sure on that one, I'm gonna make sure that everybody understands that right now. I am not calling for violence against Tim Ryan. I'm specifically saying he's calling for violence against people like me who are Trump supporters and doesn't understand that Ohio very much is a constitutional carry state as well as a stand your ground state, and we the people have no problem with standing our ground in a constitutional carry state, dude. Like, we are armed, and if somebody were to attack us, if somebody were to try to assault us, we are going to fight back with deadly force is what it is. And it's really as simple as that, honestly. So, you know, actually, you know what? I'm not going to bother everything in the other video. I'll just say it like that right now on this video. Like, yeah, I'm not calling for political violence against Tim Ryan. He's calling for it against people like myself. It's why he needs to be out of this fucking Senate race. And it's as simple as that, really. And my thing is, you know, people are going to defend themselves, dude. If you try, it's just like Maxine Waters a couple years ago, you know, back when she was talking about, oh, when you see these Trump supporters at the gasoline station, confront them, et cetera, et cetera. It's like, dude, how is she still in office after that shit? You know, right? Like, come on, man. Like, Jesus. And then she doubled down on that shit when she was in Minnesota after that Dante Wright guy's death and was basically calling for more political violence then. And it's like, again, why is this old crazy bitch looks like James Brown still in office, dude? Especially when she doesn't live in her own fucking congressional district. She lives, you know, many, many miles away in a gated community mansion, dude. So the same thing with Pelosi, man. Pelosi represents San Francisco and yet lives, you know, several hundred miles away in a fucking gated community in a giant mansion. It's like, no, go live in your fucking districts or don't have a job anymore. And it's as simple as that, bro. But yeah, I still think, you know, I hope that we can still have a country together after all this is said and done, but I don't know, man. At any given day, my political sides are swaying and stuff like that, and I think we can unfortunately have a situation where you're going to have a lot of people that just don't understand, man. That, you know, it's probably not a good idea to call for political violence against people who are heavily fucking armed is what it is, man. You know, like I said, whether it be Tim Ryan, whether it be fucking Maxine Waters, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, all of them, really, all the Democrat Party at this point. It's like, you know, Biden, etc. They're even calling the MAGA speech being like, these MAGA Republicans are dangerous extremists. It's like, no, you're the fucking dangerous extremist. You're the one who was fucking broken your oath to office fucking millions of times in the past 50 years, you fucking ass clown. Whether it be when you were a sitting senator, whether it be when you were a fucking vice president, or whether it be now in the fucking Oval Office. Like, you have continuously broken your oath every single day, asshole. Every single time you fucking do stupid shit there, Biden. Every single time you're signing in on constitutional legislation, like the Inflation Reduction Act or the anti-gun legislation or whatever it is, dude. Like, you are committing a bunch of crimes. And the fact that the federal agents out there all right, I'm back. Fucking internet just went on me again. Um, but yeah, as I was saying, hopefully we can actually have midterm elections this year. You know, judging by that, if we actually do, like, hopefully what will happen is you'll have, good, honest Americans under Republican banners and stuff like that take back the majority in both chambers. Come the new year, they will impeach the fuck out of that piece of shit Biden and Kamala and everybody else in that bullshit line of succession right now. And you would just have, like, I don't even care who at that point, dude. Like, whoever would be like the top person in line at that point. Like, let's go ahead and say like this: in a just world, in the world of, awesome fucking universe that exists out there, you'd have like Jim Jordan as Speaker of the House, you'd have Rand Paul as Senate President, and you would just basically have Rand Paul become president then, after they would impeach Biden's entire line out of office, pretty much, dude, is what it is. So, and then come 2024, you just have, like, Trump come back or something like that. Maybe him and Rand Paul run as a ticket together or some shit. Like, who the fuck knows? Or hell, you even have potentially like Rand Paul when he would become, like, de facto president after impeaching out everybody's what it is, dude. You would just have him basically be like, okay, cool, I'm gonna pick Trump as my VP now or something like that kind of thing. And then it would just be that ticket that runs again in 2024 though. So you'd have Trump being both president and vice president then, because that'd be hilarious. I don't think it's gonna happen, but it'd be fucking funny if it did though. I know there's other people that have made up like fantasyical shit where it's like, Trump would be like somehow be able to run the midterms here and then be able to win and become like fucking Speaker of the House and then just becomes president or something like that by default kind of thing or some shit. So anyway, actually, I mean, now I think about it, technically it wouldn't even be Rand Paul that would be president, then it would be Jim Jordan, because if they impeached, if they had something where Jim Jordan would then become Speaker of the House or whatever, you would have all you have to do is be impeached Biden and Kamala, and then you just have the third person in line take over then, which at that point would be a Republican. Now, granted, that being said, they all want, like, I've heard that bitch Kevin McCarthy try to come out of the woodwork and be like, I'm going to try to run for the speakership. Get the fuck out of here, California boy. Get the fuck out of here, California boy. We don't want your dumbass in that fucking position, dude. You are one of the biggest rhino sacks of shit ever, dude. No, we want a good person in fucking office, not your fucking dumbass. And if it comes to the point where you need to impeach Biden and Kamala both for shit that they've done, all the crimes they've committed in the past couple of years now, dude, no. We don't want fucking President McCarthy. We want fucking President Jordan, or something like that is what it is, dude. Or hell, even have Rand Paul become fucking Speaker of the House for that matter somehow, first kind of thing or whatever there, where you have a senator become Speaker of the House or whatever, and then you have a Rand Paul presidency kind of thing for a couple of years. So, anyway, it would be interesting, dude. Actually, I saw a good one the other day. It was a speed limit sign that somebody had defaced a little bit, and it just says "Reelect 45." So, it was good though, man. But yeah, I don't know anymore. I think this country's gone to hell in a handbasket, and I think it really does show the cowardice of the Democrat Party that they're refusing to debate people in the statewide races there when they're all a bunch of pieces of shit. Really, is what it is, dude. And like I said, I don't think Newsom stands a chance if he would have a real debate with somebody. And the same thing with Rob Bonta. Like that's the thing, dude. If you actually had Rob Bonta as Attorney General there, have a debate with the Republican candidate and shit, that dude could trounce him on every anti-gun law that Bonta's pushed right now, including all the defeats that he's had come in court cases and stuff like that over stuff, dude. Because it's all unconstitutional crap that Bonta's been pushing there, dude. So, yeah, you could easily have something better there, and that would honestly, that would be the best thing to happen to California right now. Would just be have Newsom get get fucking ousted by a Republican in from their General Assembly that just beats him in a long shot race. You have another Republican win Attorney Generalship there, and then you have a third Republican win the controller seat, which I don't even know I'm not even sure what the hell that does, honestly, because that is one thing I thought was interesting when it came to California politics that you don't have here in Ohio. As far as I'm aware, we don't have a controller of any kind. What we have is a secretary. Well, let me think now. I know the things I know for a fact that pretty much every General Assembly has when it comes to gubernatorial lines. So you have the governor, you have lieutenant governor, you have Secretary of State, Attorney General, and then specifically for Ohio, we have Secretary of, or no, I'm sorry. We have Auditor and Treasurer. That's what the other two positions are right there in the gubernatorial line, along with then Speaker of the House and Senate President. And the thing is, we don't have controllers. We don't have, agricultural heads like Florida has with Nikki Fried and shit like that. We just have random other positions what it is, dude. So I assume that these states also have what I just said, but they just have more stuff on top of that than is what it is. And again, this is kind of the problem when it comes to government entirely, dude, is that even at state levels, government gets out of control because you're creating positions that don't need to exist is what it is, man. And then you have idiots like Nikki Fried, they're in California, or not California, they're in Florida, who are basically trying to deny people concealed carry licensing and stuff like that because she's a fucking nut. And thank God she lost that fucking primary to run against DeSantis, dude. I can't wait to see him win re-election, actually, dude. But, yeah, a lot of people were saying Trump DeSantis 2024. That would be the time for DeSantis to do it because he's going to be out of office in 2026 no matter what their term limits. So unless he was going to run for the U.S. Senate or U.S. House or something like that in 2026, he would be smart to just run as Trump's potential VP nominee for 2024 or something. And I would actually say to a lesser extent, if he would want to run for president himself, that'd be the case. Him and Kristi Noem would make an awesome ticket for 2024 as well. If Trump wants to do some stuff, dude, what he should do is be okay, that's cool. I've had my time in the sun. I know there's a bunch of shit there in 2020, whatever the case be. I'm going to back these people because I think they have a better chance than I do is what it is. And he just sort of fades away, not really fades away, but sort of stays in the shadows kind of thing or whatever there and does what's best for this country. And what's best for this country is somebody else in the presidency and vice presidency that's not him. So, and that way we could actually start to maybe heal as a nation if that be the case. But again, I'm not even sure that would be the case right now, dude, because again, if you had a DeSantis Noem ticket or something like that, or a Noem DeSantis ticket, whichever way it's going to be, I think that would even cause more division in this country now. And again, it's because so many people have gone so opposite ends of the political spectrum right now, dude. And it's just sad. It's sad to me. And my thing is, this is why I call it everybody oath breakers and stuff like that, dude, because they're all a bunch of scumbags. All the establishment is at this point, dude. There's a few here and there that are still, I think, good people, but for the majority of them, nah, bro, they're just pieces of shit in general. So, and that's the thing, before 2019, or actually, no, before 2017, I really didn't give a shit about politics, honestly, if we're going to be serious about things, dude. Yeah, I voted and everything else like that, but it was one of those things where it's okay, I'm going to go vote, whatever. It wasn't until Trump's administration, until I saw the first real president in my fucking lifetime, that I actually gave a shit about politics after that, dude. And that's a sad fact to say right now, but it's the truth. And that's the thing, in the last 5 years, look at how fucking psychotic the Democrat Party has gone now, dude. And then you have these spineless fucking rhinos and shit on either side of that fucking aisle that are trying to form this uni party with him and stuff like that, and being like, "No, we're totally doing something for you." Behind closed doors, "Hey, buddy, give me that fucking tray full of cocaine so I can do 10 more fucking lines with it," says Mitch McConnell or Lindsey Graham or whoever the fuck else then. And it's like, exactly. And it's just like how they, what was that guy's name? The dude that got primaried that was the wheelchair dude that was a one-term congressman. He basically called that shit out. He was like, "Yeah, dude, I've been to parties and they were doing like coke bumps off fucking keys and shit, dude." And it was people that he looked at as inspirational in our government that I'm guessing were in there for decades is what it was, dude. So I could only assume it was like the leadership, like your McConnells, your Grahams, etc. there, dude. Maybe a Chuck Grassley. I mean, hell, what the hell else is keeping these 80-something-year-old people alive, dude? Unless it's like cocaine and other drugs, honestly. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway. I'm half kidding, but not really, honestly, dude. I'm dead serious about what I'm saying right there. But anyway, I think that's where we're at for today, though. You know, I've been here for over 40 minutes now, so. And we already did another hour video or so. So I think that's it for today. It's almost 8 o'clock. So I'm going to go do some stuff then and get ready to eat some dinner and finish off some things for the game I play. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed these episodes today. Hope you enjoyed. If you watched that 4-hour stream this morning, dude, you know, again, you are the champs on that one, dude. Anybody that watched that entire thing, because I know I went off on the rails on a couple times on that one and just sort of went on some kind of rambling rant about some shit. But yeah, I think it was, like I said, I think it was mostly coherent for the most part. And that's all that really matters is you're coherent. You're not just like babbling on is what it is, man. So, and like I said, with my whole thing, it's a situation where, you know, when it comes to the autism, sometimes I really can go off on some crazy ass rants and mini rants and stuff like that. And unfortunately, you know, when people ask you direct questions or whatever the case be about, like, "Oh, what about this thing?" It's like, well, you know, and again, I'm going to go back and talk about that thing with that dude's panel and stuff one more time. With the chick specifically, it's like, well, why the hell are you picking places like Norway? Is it because of it being like such a, you know, ethnically white nation is what it is? Because the thing is, like, you know, how are you going to, like, my thing is, because I don't know what the population of Norway is, and it's only maybe a few million or something like that. It's like, how the hell are you going to compare a country that is the size of a lot of American states to America that has like 300 plus million people in it, dude? There is no comparison. And that's the thing. It's the same thing with everything, dude. Like if I was going to compare like European nations and stuff like that, dude, I compare like Norway to like Sweden or Norway to Switzerland or something like that. Or it would be like Australia to the UK or something like that, dude. Like that's what I do by comparisons and stuff like that. It wouldn't be like, no, let me go ahead and take this fucking country that's the size of a fucking state in the United States and try to compare it to the United States of America, man. Because again, there is no comparison geographical wise, size wise. It's just not, you know. And that's why I kind of do believe when it came to when I was watching last night with NEA's cast and stuff, one of the guys in his panel who was talking about how he thinks there's like anywhere from like 15 to 20 like mini republics in the United States right now. I wouldn't be surprised by it. And if that be the case, and you were to take any individual one of those, like say it like this, right? Okay, like if you were to take like the size of like an Ohio or a Texas or something like that as a country or as a state, and you compare those states to a country like Norway, that would be different entirely. You know, if you want to talk about the demographics of those, you know, that state versus that country or something like that, that would be one thing entirely because it would be, you know, roughly the same amount of people and stuff like that kind of thing or whatever. But the problem is when you're not going to do stuff like that, when you're going to sit there and try to, you know, go country by country, well, one is way fucking smaller than the other is what it is, dude. So yeah, I like I said, I think the problem with not only her but the rest of that panel entirely, they just wanted they already had a mindset of what they wanted to basically discuss and what they were trying to sort of come across with, and any little infraction on their already political bias is what it was, dude, on a certain thing was like, oh my god, no, can't have that thing be a thing or whatever the case be. And that's what I said. That's why I felt very personally attacked during that whole thing, because it just felt very weird. And it just, yeah, that's why I left as fast as I did, honestly, because I was like, yeah, I don't need to be here for this. Because the thing was, like I said, I wouldn't even really, like, truthfully, I was like only half paying attention then. because I was busy doing gaming stuff at the time too. And the only reason I didn't even mention something is because, you know, a state that one of my family members lives in was brought up there, and they were talking about like, oh well, this thing is a thing, or whatever the case being. It's like, well, you know, outside of this thing, like that's what I'm saying. I was like, outside of that major city there in Maine, it's a lot of rural areas. What it is, so you know, and that's the truth, honestly. And that could be why, and it could be again, you know, it could be a bunch of different fucking factors for all we know. So you know, like I said, I could really care less. This will hopefully be the last time I talk about this because, again, it's not really worth discussing anymore. It's just one of these things I kind of want to get. Like my thing is going back to shit that happened to me earlier this year and stuff like that, where it kept going around my head and everything like that. It's the same thing here with this shit. It's like, you know, for the past 12 hours or so, it's been like kind of stewing on it, if you will. And I feel like just talking about it and discussing it, I'm able to hopefully get beyond it is what it is now, and having my side of the argument out there is what it is. I hope people understand what I'm saying now, because my thing of it is, it's like, yeah, there really is no comparison, dude. Like, because the thing is, even I think Norway, I don't even think they have, I'm not even sure they have a constitution. I know supposedly from what that chick said, they have the right to bear arms somehow, which they might have that on a small constitution or something like that. I'm not sure. I have to look in Norway again, because again, I'm not Norwegian, nor do I live in Norway. So it's like, what the fuck? There's no reason for me to even look into that unless I'm going to do it right now as like a topic or something in the future. So I might look into that if that be the case. Then one thing I do remember though, and I can't remember which country it was recently, if it was Norway or if it was like Switzerland or Sweden or where it was at, but there was like a massacre in one of those countries though, and I'm pretty sure that was done by some like crazy white dude is what it was, do with a weapon. So anyway, but yeah, it's just interesting that you have people, coming out and being like, oh, but what about this thing or whatever the case be? And it's like, what the hell kind of question is that, kind of thing. It's like, and then people being like, oh, just answer the question. It's like, well, I got to think about what I'm going to fucking say here. Like, Jesus, man. Like, I'm not going to be able to be like on the fucking spot with it or something like that, dude, because it's just a random question out of nowhere and shit. So, yeah, like, of course, I'm not going to, do it. And even the one guy in the back chat, because that's one thing I saw before I left, he's like, yeah, that dude didn't want to answer the question directly. And it's like, how the hell do you expect me to when you're fucking having like some random person ask me some random fucking question out of nowhere, dude, like that? Like, how about you fucking answer the question, buddy? And I want to see what your fucking answer is, Like, fuck you, dude, seriously. And that's the problem with these people. So, I don't know. Like I said, I'm done with those folks for the time being, I think, in general. And it is what it is, you know. I think it's time for me to just do my own thing again for the most part, and maybe just go on to what I've been going on to with a couple folks around the country on the weekends and stuff, and just go from there is what it is then. So, by the way, if anybody ever wants to come on here, let me know, and we can set something up for like a future discussion of some kind or whatever. I just need to know like a time or whatever, and then I can set something up probably. But yeah, and if nothing else, then I'll just go live by myself. Usually is what it is, and just rant on for a bunch of time then. So anyway, that's pretty much where we're at for today, though. Like I said, I'm gonna go eat and do some stuff then. Probably get ready for bed in a few hours here because I just don't feel well, and I don't know if it's the heat coming back again because it's like apparently we're having like another summer heat wave in fucking fall now, and it's just like, ugh. But yeah, it's just being a pain in the ass now. So anyway, like I said though, I just thought it was really weird. I thought it was a really weird question out of nowhere on that panel, and that's And then I get, and what's even more, what's funnier to me actually going back to that though, and I did stay for a few more minutes after that after I dropped out of the panel and stuff. The one guy was talking about like because they had said something about like Japan and stuff like that, and it's like again you're trying to compare Japan to United States of America, dude. There is no comparison. And the thing is that nobody ever talked about Japan though is there's a big suicide issue over there, dude. And most of those people just self delete. They'll just stay quiet. They'll never go insane or whatever the case be. They'll just self harm is what it is, unfortunately. And it's the same thing with a lot of those Asian countries like that, dude. It's why they have like suicide forests and stuff like that because they'll just run out to the fucking forest and take their own life is what it is then. So anyway, it's just sad, man. It really is. And like I said, I think there was already a bias going on there, and if I had thought better of it, I wouldn't have just said anything at all, dude. I wouldn't even gone on the panel last night. Truthfully, I would have just left well enough alone and just done my own thing. Then, if that be the case, then, and it wouldn't be an issue here the next day. Then, so anyway, but unfortunately, my autism sometimes it forces me to have to stew on things more than I should, honestly. And I don't like to have that be a thing anymore. I'm hoping to find some way to deal with that now. And I think talking about it is a better option right now. But yeah. And my thing is, I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong. Was I wrong? Maybe. I don't know. They thought I was. Maybe it's because of the way I phrased something. I don't know. Like I said, I think a lot of it was just misconstrued, is what it was, dude. And if that's how they took it, I'm sorry to them if that be the case, dude. But that's not how it was meant to be, said or done or whatever then. So it is what it is. Like I said, I'm over it, hopefully. But other than that, that's pretty much where we're at for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you all on the next one.